Welcome to Virtuous Vineyards. I'm Nancy and this is Rebecca, and today we will be talking about selflessness. Now, Rebecca, this is something that you and I recently talked about a girl that I've worked with in the past, and one of the things that she struggles with, she's a really good girl. So this girl really loves her friends, and she would do anything for them, and to the point of where she listens to them constantly, and listens to what they have to say. And even when those things that they talk about might not be of interest to her, she still wants to be a good friend, and she lends them an ear, and she listens to those interests, and she participates in those and acts as she's interested. But one of the things that she really struggles with is that she feels that type of behavior is not reciprocated with her friends. Like, she doesn't feel like her friends are going to that level of listening to her and paying interest to the things that she likes. And she feels ultimately that she's on a one-way road, where she does all of these things to show her love for her friends, but then when she wants to share things with them, if it's not of interest to them, I mean, it's gotten to the point where they will walk off in the middle of the conversation because they don't find it interesting.
There's a reason that God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. We need to listen to our friends. We need to listen to our family members, see what they need. We're put on this earth to serve. Jesus came as an example to that. He served us. He gave up his life for us. And if it means we need to just stop and listen to a friend, that's what we need to do. I have 2 examples of things to do as far as helping others do things. And I've thought about this several times in being a parent, getting things ready for my children that I wish I would have realized when I was younger. Some of you know I'm a nurse, and I worked for a surgeon. And one of my jobs was to make sure that surgeon had every tool she needed. When she needed a scalpel, I had it in my hand ready to give her. When she needed suction, I had it in my hand ready to give her. And so I was setting things up to make her job easier. Mm-hmm. Also think about you're playing volleyball, and before you spike a ball, you need that person to set it, right? You got that person to set it before you can spike it to earn a point. Well, that's just 2 examples of ways that we can do things for other people to help make their lives easier, to help make their lives more fulfilling. So if you see a friend that's struggling, that maybe needs help with their homework, you see your parents, rushing to get dinner done, don't wait for somebody to ask you for help. Get in there and help them. Learn to step back and say, hey, instead of focusing on me and, well, I need this and I need that, which we all get selfish and do. Look at your surroundings. Look at your parents. Look at your friends. Are you seeing them struggle with something? If so, what can you do to jump in there and help them? Because the slightest thing to help somebody will make the biggest difference to them, and it takes very little effort for us. It's just a matter of us learning to look for it, learning to recognize somebody needs help, and taking the initiative to do it. Especially now during Lent. Lent is about learning to take your mind off of yourself and to focus on others, to focus on prayer, to help others do things. So now, as anytime, volunteer to help your mother, volunteer to babysit your little brothers and sisters, volunteer at the church, volunteer helping something at school. Because ultimately, when you put yourself out there to help people, you don't have to worry about getting your needs met, because your needs will still get met. We're put on this earth to serve and not to be served. So let's not be one of those people who just sits around and, okay, what can you do for me? What am I going to get out of it? We're not meant to be that way. We need to be asking the questions of, how can I help you? How can I help my community? How can I help my school with that? So definitely listening is a great place to start, because if you're so busy talking and not listening, you're not aware of who needs you and what needs to be done around you.
Right. So going back to the story of this girl that I've been working with, sometimes we need to step back and think, are we those people that are only consumed and are our interest in what we want, and really stop to think and realize that what other people do for us, and thank them. And a great way of thanking them is serving them and doing something for them. Even though sometimes it might not be something that you want to do, or even want to be part of, or even interested in listening to certain conversations, you're not doing it in order to entertain yourself. You're doing it for that other person, because that other person needs that ear and needs that time to be able to express themselves. So next time you have a conversation with a friend, don't forget to kind of sit back and listen to what they have to say, and act interested in them.
Exactly, because one, that's going to make the person who's talking to you feel like you're trustworthy. It's going to make them feel good. And I don't know about you, Nancy, but when I have a friend that I feel like that can confide in me, it makes me feel good too.
Oh, yeah.
To feel trusted, and that's huge in itself. So, you're being a good friend by listening, but you're getting something out of it too. Same thing when you give to others. That's something that you're really noticing. I know when I was your age, I had a really bad attitude with my parents. If they asked me to do something or to clean around the house, I felt so annoyed by that. Now, how many of you girls feel annoyed when your parents ask you to do something? But if you stop and think about it, they're paying the bills, they're buying your clothes, they're putting a roof over your head. So they're doing for you every single day, whether you realize it or not. So, let's help our parents, help make things better, easier for them, because when you help them, you're really helping yourself, definitely, with that.
Yeah.
And there's so many examples of selflessness in the Bible. I looked up on a Christian website the other day, just to see the different verses, because I thought I would give you guys a verse to take with you about selflessness. Well, guess what? There was pages and pages on there. There was no way I could have covered every single one of them. So we as Christians are definitely called to be selfless. And again, don't feel like you're going to lose out if you do that you're going to be put at the end of the line, because guess what? You're not. Your needs are going to be taken care of too. And that's just how it works with that.
Definitely.
So, well, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you taking the time. If you found any of this information of value, or you think anybody else would, please share this episode with others, and don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.